What we're going to teach you today is how to measure a specific item. Not every item is the same size. Some objects are small and others are big. Measuring a specific item is important because through this skill, children can see the differences in sizes between various objects. Children can use everyday objects to measure items. In addition, knowing how to measure will allow children to develop mathematical skills. The things we will measure in our video are height, length, and weight. We will show how to measure different objects using several units such as coins, blocks, small scales, and even our own body parts.
First, we will be explaining how to measure the height of two different sized pens. In the first example, we will show this using blocks, and in the second example, we will use children's hands. Through the use of blocks, children are able to build up or down based on the specific size of the plant. The left plant is noticeably shorter than the right plant, but since children are not able yet to distinguish the difference, using objects around them, such as building blocks, will help them compare which plant is bigger or smaller.
Another way children can measure the size of the plants are by using their hands. Here, children can place one hand above the other until they reach the top of the plant and in the end see the plant's height compared to another. One plant can be 4 hands tall and the other can be 6 hands tall. This demonstrates that by using different units, sometimes we will need a smaller or larger quantity of that measuring unit. For example, blocks can be bigger or smaller than the children's hands, so we will need more or less hands than blocks in order to measure the specific object. In this case, a plant can be 13 blocks tall, but also be 4 hands tall.
Next, we will be explaining how to measure the lengths of two different sized books. Teachers can provide simple objects such as coins to show how short or long the two books are. By putting one on top of the other and then counting the amount of coins needed to cover the distance, you can find out the length.
Lastly, in the case of weight, children can utilize a small scale or use their hands to discern how heavy or light an object is. Instead of using a scale, children can use their hands in order to directly compare the weight of objects, such as the toys that they play with. This gives them a more interactive way to compare weight by letting them hold objects in their hands, as opposed to simply putting objects on a scale.
Teaching children how to measure items is a very important part of curriculum for young children. It is important because it helps them with learning early mathematical skills. In our lesson, we went over measuring 3 different items: weight, whether or not it's heavy or light; length, whether or not it's big or short; and height, whether or not it's small or tall.
It is important to make sure you give your students time to figure it out on their own as well. In addition, when measuring items, always consider the unconventional and conventional ways for teaching your students, and do not limit them in your lesson plans. Thank you for your time.